So when we buy something, but we make a mistake, we can sometimes fall into this trap of going, oh, well, if it's not that expensive, too much of a faff to return it. Maybe you have to pay for the returns, so it doesn't seem worth it. And you've kind of got it into your head that maybe one day I'll find a use for it. Does that sound like you? This may be a classic sign of being a hoarder. I say this with love because that's very much me. I'm always finding a use for something or other that I bought by mistake, or maybe I didn't read the specifications properly and it was a different size, things like that. We're all capable of doing it, and sometimes it does just seem like too much faff to send it back from whence it came. And instead, what we do is we hold on to it. Um, and actually sometimes this can happen not just with things that we buy, but with things that people give things to us. Maybe a friend has given you lots of crafty things because they know that you're a crafty person, they know that you like crafting things, and they're trying to get rid of their own stuff, they're trying to declutter their own space, their own mind, by then passing it on to somebody else that they think is going to get use out of it. It's very commendable, it's very kind. And sometimes it will be relevant to us and it can actually be really useful. Sometimes though it might not be relevant to what we're doing, and what we're currently doing within our business, and you think, but maybe I can branch out, I can add this product, this product range to my business, and that might be something they suggest, that you can add it to there, it might be a really good seller. So obviously you don't want to waste an opportunity, so that you keep hold of it. You think that one day, I can start adding X, Y, and Z to your business. And thank you so much to that friend, or for that mistake, that you've now got this thing that you can potentially add. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes when we do invest in something and it turns out to be the wrong investment, i.e. we've made a mistake, or, we buy so much of a product and it's maybe not what we expect it to be. We hold on to it because we may find a use for it. We don't want to waste our money. We don't want to waste our time. And I'll be honest, if it wasn't for someone destashing all of their jewelry making gear, I never would have gone into jewelry making. It was something that they gave to me thinking I could add it to my card making as embellishments and this, that, and the other. And I started going down a different path with the whole jewelry making. Now, obviously, what it did do, rightly or wrongly, by adding that different element into my business, my cards, my poetry, it did go on the back foot. It did go on the back burner. You can't concentrate on so many different things without something not getting the attention that it deserves. And I absolutely love jewelry making, but poetry and and all that was my passion, and it is something that I've had to kind of put to one side because there's only so much I can do at any one time. um and this is the thing that we have to think long and hard about. The more that we cement what it is that we are known for and what our brand represents, if we start then deviating from that, it's going to send very mixed messages to our customer base on what it is they get from us. So if you do make a mistake with the purchase, or maybe you buy something but it's not quite fit for purpose as you expected, try and think outside of the box of ways that you can still use it for your business or sell on. So it might be that I've had things that I bought, it's not quite fit the bill, and I've gone, okay, I can use this as part of my product photography. Maybe I can use this as part of my craft fair setup to kind of help me display items. There are lots of different purposes and things that we can use. It doesn't necessarily have to mean that something is a waste. It just means that maybe for the intention that we wanted it for, it's not quite for that purpose. And obviously, if we kind of find that it's just not fitting in anywhere, then that's when we know that we can get rid of it. There are loads of places that we can go to get rid of things that we no longer need. I will go on about this in a little bit more detail in a bit. But don't hold on to things just for the sake of it, because holding on to things, hoarding, as we like to call it, it's going to clutter your space and it's going to clutter your mind. Because as I said, there's only so much that we can focus on. And if we've got things around us that are actually no longer serving us, but we keep a hold of them anyway, it's a distraction. It's that thing that's going to hold you back from focusing on maybe that thing that is going to grow your business, that is going to grow you. um you know, sometimes we try things and we use things for our business and they end up not aligning with what we want to do. We need to get rid of those things, because if it doesn't align with our business, then things, we have to think of it like lining up the dominoes. And if we are lining up a line of dominoes and we just for some reason decide that we're going to move this domino just a little bit more to that side, there's still a line, like it's still, we're still making a thing. But when we start knocking down those dominoes, what's going to happen with that one that's just slightly not in alignment? It's going to stop the flow of our dominoes being knocked over. So we need to make sure that everything is lined up so that we can create that effect, that pattern that we want from our business. So if something's not working, get rid. You can sell it on, and it doesn't necessarily have to be sold on as part of your business. It can be sold on. There are lots and lots of different ways that we can do that. We have things like Spock, Gumtree, there's Facebook Marketplace. There are lots and lots of groups on social media, specifically Facebook, loads of groups for destashing, for selling craft supplies and things like that. So if you've got things that haven't worked for you, it doesn't mean that they're not going to work for somebody else. And you can still hopefully try and recoup some of your money that you've spent on this item and give it to somebody else that is going to have use for it. Just don't hold on for it for the sake of it. You know, have a think of the people that you know within your field that maybe could make use of it and connect with them. Maybe you could do a little bit of a swapsies. Maybe they can try something out that you've tried and it might align better with them, and vice versa. Try and see if you can collaborate in that way. Maybe if it's something that you've invested in, maybe a new product or something like that, and it doesn't align with your business, then you can either keep it for yourself or you can use it as gifts. Give it to friends and family, hold them on to, you know, for Christmas gifts or birthday gifts. Maybe you can start creating craft kits to sell instead of a finished product. This is something that you can sell either as part of your business or as separate to your business, using those groups that I mentioned before, Spock, Gumtree, etc., etc. You just need to be careful with some things. If it's aimed towards children, then, you know, seed testing and all that sort of thing. But there are plenty of platforms out there that will help you with that. So please, please do not keep a hold of things that are just not going to serve you. If you're limited for space, if you are limited for time of trying to sell things that just aren't working, it's going to be like flogging a dead horse. So just make sure that you kind of have that cut-off point where you know when to stop. When something's not working, when is that moment that you realize it's not working, and then act on it. By hoarding something, you're not acting, you're in stasis. You're just staying still because you don't want to make a decision. You don't want to be decisive, and being decisive is probably the most important thing in business. It's something that I really struggle with. So me saying it seems very hypocritical, but I'm saying it because I know that my indecisiveness is something that holds me back quite a lot, in not just business, but in a lot of other things as well. So be less me, be more decisive, and get rid of those things that are no longer serving you.